Imagine a wave, not of water, but of voices, young, passionate, and relentless. This is the wave of student protests sweeping across universities worldwide. Recently, we've seen a noticeable surge in these student-led demonstrations. The lecture halls and dorm rooms might be their usual territory, but now they're claiming the streets and squares as well. And why? To express their convictions, to demand change, to make their voices heard. Take, for instance, the ongoing pro-Palestinian protests. Despite facing arrests and suspensions, students at Columbia University and beyond continue to rally. Over 100 arrests and encampment dismantled, yet the resolve of these students remains unbroken. They are the embodiment of determination, standing up for what they believe in, undeterred by the potential consequences. Yet it's not just about the protests themselves. It's about the central role these students are playing. They are not merely participants. They are the organizers, the leaders, the heart of these protests. They are the ones creating the banners, leading the chants, and coordinating the demonstrations. They are the ones standing at the forefront, refusing to back down no matter the cost. These students, undeterred by the consequences, have become the modern epitome of resistance and resilience. At the heart of these protests lies a complex issue, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This conflict, rooted in a deep-seated territorial dispute, has been a source of contention for decades. Now, it's sparking debates and stirring emotions in places far removed from its epicenter, including the hallowed halls of academia. Universities like Columbia and Berkeley Law School have become stages for these debates, with students voicing their opinions and standing up for what they believe in. At Columbia University, pro-Palestinian protests continue despite arrests and suspensions. Students are determined to make their voices heard, advocating for Palestinian rights even as the university dismantles their encampments and calls in law enforcement. Over at Berkeley Law School, a similar narrative plays out. A Muslim law student staged a protest at the dean's house, calling for divestment from companies supporting Israel. This move sparked controversy, accusations of assault, and a heated discussion on the limits of free speech. These incidents highlight a growing trend. College campuses are becoming hotbeds for activism, places where global conflicts are being debated and dissected. While the conflict is thousands of miles away, its echoes resonate loudly within the walls of these institutions. The impact of these student protests is undeniable and extensive. Universities have been thrust into the spotlight, facing increased scrutiny due to their handling of these demonstrations. Arrests and suspensions have become a common sight, a stark reminder of the intensity and passion fueling these protests. Yet, the reverberations of these demonstrations go beyond university grounds. They have sparked a larger conversation about free speech and discrimination in higher education. Questions are being raised, debates are being ignited, and the status quo is being challenged. These protests are not just about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They have become a platform for students to voice their concerns about wider societal issues, including racial and religious discrimination. They are shaking up the very foundations of universities, urging them to reevaluate their policies, their priorities, and their principles. As we look towards the future, it is clear that these protests are more than just a momentary wave. They represent a rising tide of young voices, eager to make a difference and unwilling to be silenced. These students are not just fighting for their cause. They are shaping the discourse and setting the tone for future generations. As the wave of protests continues to rise, one thing is certain: these young voices are shaping the discourse, and their message is clear. They will not be silenced. Like the video and subscribe my channel.